I joined the Navy when I was 17 years old with mother's permission. In those days they had what they called minority crews, and you could go in at 17. So I never finished high school, and I joined the Navy in 1938. So I had over 3 years in when the war started here, and I was right out here on the battleship Oklahoma. And my station was in the engine room, and there were 54 men in my division. So far as I know, only 4 of us survived out of the 54. There may have been some others, but that's all I had heard of. So I was pretty fortunate there, and I stayed on the ship until it listed about 30 degrees, and then I thought it was time to leave, because 30 degrees is getting over there pretty good. And when I got to the top side, it went on over. My buddy was with me. He went uphill and went over to the battleship Maryland, which we were tied up to. And it was too steep for me to go up there. By the time I got out the ventilator, and I slid down into the water. So I had to swim. And
how far did you have to swim?
well, I swam, just as I slid down there, the ship turned over onto me and covered me. So I tried to swim out from under it, and I was an excellent swimmer, but I couldn't find the surface. There was something over the top of me. So I finally gave up. And finally, I ended up in a life raft. How I got there, I don't know. I think it was due to either an explosion or the ship making a sudden movement and forced me out of the water. I don't know. But I ended up in a life raft.
Do you think you were unconscious at that time?
As what?
Do you think you were unconscious at that time?
I was, because I had given up. But then after I was in the life raft for a few minutes, got my breath back again, and the fellas had a couple of wounded men in the life raft, and they gave me the dickens for jumping into the life raft. I don't know, I didn't know how I got there. So I knew I wasn't wanted, so I jumped back in the water and started swimming over here to the submarine base. This is what was my goal. And actually my ship was right out there where the Missouri is. So it's quite a swim from there to here. But I swam probably a fourth of the way, and I was picked up by a motor launch. But then I got back over here to the submarine base, and I heard that they had heard some tapping on the hull of the Oklahoma. If you've seen pictures of it, about a third of the hull was still above water. And so I went back out there and I worked on it for 2 days. We were cutting people out, and we rescued 32 men.
Oh, good.
And that's where I spent the next 2 days. And then after that, I went out to sea. I grabbed the first destroyer I could get on and went to sea, because I wanted to kill a Jap. That was my goal.
Can you state your name and spell it? Just say it out loud.
Hey, what?
Just
Say your name.
Walter Becker.
Will you spell it?
Can you spell it for us? Just spell it for us.
Oh, spell it? Oh, Walter Becker. Is it showing there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way when they're putting it all together, they'll have your name right.
Yeah. But anyway, I went to sea on a destroyer, and 9 months later, it was sunk. We lost it at Guadalcanal.
Oh, wow.
So then I was on an oil tanker for about a year and a half. Then I went aboard a small aircraft carrier, and it was sunk. We lost it at Iwo Jima. So I was a hell of a swimmer.
Oh, bad. You got lots of practice.
Yeah. But there's not very many people you'll ever talk to that survived 3 ships.
Yeah.
That's pretty rare.
How long did you stay in the Navy?
7 years total.
So all of that within 7 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, actually within 5 years, right?
Yeah. Actually, it was the action was all within about a 4-year period.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's about the extent of it.
Tell us what coming here means to you.
Oh, I think about so many of the fellows that were good friends of mine, and I feel that it's pretty much a duty for me to go over here and commemorate them.
Yes.
I just get a different feeling when I'm over here thinking about them, because I did lose a lot of friends. Like on the Oklahoma, we lost 427 men. On the Bismarck Sea, which was the little aircraft carrier, I think there we lost 320, about a third of the crew.
Wow.
So it's been a little rough, but actually I've been fortunate. I've had a good life. Was married for 63 years.
Wow.
My wife died a little over a year ago. So raised 2 children. One of them is here with me, and 1 grandson's here with me. And been fairly fortunate, made a decent living, always had something to eat, had clothes on my back.
What did you do after the Navy?
Well, for the first 10 years, I farmed. And then I hurt my back, and I had to quit farming because I couldn't ride a tractor anymore. And I started selling firefighting equipment. And we built fire trucks until about 3 years ago.
Wow.
Got fire trucks all over the nation.
Great.
Yeah, with my name on them. Yeah.
Awesome.